You know, we all make plans. We've got plans for the day, for our careers, heck, for our entire lives. But have you ever stopped to notice that life is usually what happens while we're busy making all those other plans? Today, we're going to dive into that tension, that powerful pull between the life we've planned out and the one that's actually waiting for us.
So let me just ask you, straight up, are you really here right now in this moment? Or is your mind maybe somewhere else? Are you replaying a conversation from yesterday or stressing about a deadline that's coming up? It's a really simple question, but man, the answer tells you a whole lot about how you're actually experiencing your own life.
This reminds me of a buddy of mine from high school, a guy named Don. Now, Don was the first one in our group to get a car, and he loved to talk. So one day he's just flying down the road, and he turns his entire body around to face us in the back seat to tell some story. And you can imagine we were freaking out, telling him to watch the road. He just laughs and says, "Don't worry, I can see out the back window and I'm staying between the lines."
That image of Don driving while looking backward, it's always stuck with me. Because isn't that how so many of us go through life? We're technically in the driver's seat, right? But our focus is anywhere but on the road right in front of us. We're on cruise control, totally confident we're in charge, but we're not actually experiencing the journey. We're not really driving at all.
You see this play out everywhere, even in something as simple as a board game. Let's say you're playing Ticket to Ride. You get your cards and you map out this grand strategy, this perfect route. But then, bam, another player blocks you. The cards you're drawing are all wrong. Well, if you stubbornly stick to your original plan when the whole game is changed around you, you're going to lose, guaranteed. The real key is adapting to what's happening right now.
So if we're so often just running on autopilot, it kind of begs the question, what, or maybe who, is actually steering the ship? Let's take a look at the three internal forces that are always fighting for control.
Seriously, if we're not always consciously in control, then who is? Well, it turns out there are three drivers that can grab the wheel at any moment, and just understanding them is the first huge step to getting back in charge.
First up is your instinct. This is your survival brain. It's all about seeking pleasure, avoiding pain, which is exactly why one potato chip can suddenly become an empty bag. Then you've got the intellect. That's your planner, your problem solver. But its big pitfall is overthinking and getting distracted, pulling you out of the now. And finally, there's intuition, that quiet inner wisdom. The problem? Its voice is so easily drowned out by the other two.
And you know, this whole battle inside our heads, it's not a new thing at all. It's a timeless human challenge, one that was captured perfectly in a story by Leo Tolstoy about an emperor who is desperately searching for the ultimate plan for success.
So this emperor, he was completely obsessed with this one idea. If he could just find the answers to three specific questions, he would be invincible. He truly believed he could never, ever fail at anything again. So he sends out this decree across his entire kingdom, offering a massive reward to anyone who could give him the answers he was looking for.
And here they are, his big three questions. 1, what is the best time to do each thing? 2, who are the most important people to work with? And 3, what is the most important thing to do at all times? I mean, they sound like the ultimate strategic planning questions, don't they?
So all the wisest people in the kingdom came forward, scholars, magicians, councils, and they all gave him different, conflicting answers. None of them felt right. Because the real answers, as it turned out, weren't found in some grand plan, but in the power of the present moment.
Totally frustrated, the emperor disguises himself and goes to find this wise hermit living in the woods. But instead of getting some big philosophical lecture, he finds himself just helping the old man dig his garden. And then later that day, they end up saving the life of a wounded man, who, plot twist, turns out to be an enemy who had sworn to kill the emperor. It was only through these unplanned, in-the-moment actions that the answers finally became clear.
And what the hermit told him? Well, it was so simple, but so profound. The most important time is now. Why? Because it's the only time we actually have any control over. The most important person? It's the one you are with, the person right in front of you. And the most important thing to do is to do good for that person. Simple, powerful, and all of it is rooted right here in the present.
Okay, so how do we take this ancient wisdom and actually use it in our crazy modern lives? Well, it all comes down to a super simple, practical tool we can use to get off autopilot and take back the wheel.
It's called the law of win. Now, this isn't about winning against someone else. It's about winning back your own presence. It's a single question you can ask yourself anytime your plans go sideways or you feel your mind starting to drift. What's important now?
This question just cuts through all the noise from your intellect and the demands of your instinct and brings you right back to here and now.
You know, the author Joseph Campbell captured this idea perfectly. He said, we must be willing to let go of the life we plan to have, the life that is waiting for us. And that's exactly what the law of wind helps you do. It gives you permission to embrace the life that's actually unfolding right in front of you, instead of being stuck on the one that only exists in your head.
Let me give you a real-world example from one of the sources. The author was supposed to go to this party, but a last-minute thing came up, and he had to stay behind to help a new student move into her dorm. So his plans for the night? Totally shot. He missed the party. But by asking himself what's important now and just helping the person in front of him, he met his future wife. He let go of a small, insignificant plan and ended up gaining a whole new life.
And look, this isn't just some nice, feel-good idea. It is incredibly effective. When people apply this win strategy, they report finding satisfaction more than 80% of the time. Now, to put that in perspective, in baseball, if you hit the ball just 50% of the time, you're not just an all-star, you're a legend. This is a strategy that helps you find a better outcome way more often than not just by focusing on the now.
So I'm going to leave you with this. The next time your day gets completely derailed, your project hits a wall, or your big life plan takes a sharp, unexpected turn, don't get frustrated. Just stop, take a breath, and instead of letting your intellect spin out or your instinct react, just ask yourself that one simple question: what's important now? The answer? Well, it might just surprise you.